Hey guys, what's up? Owen Reynolds from Locker Sports, and we're gonna go through each division, and we're gonna say who's leading the division. I'm here with.
Lanny Nelson. They call me G-pa Lanny.
All right, and let's go. Let's do the intro. All right. Let's get started with the AFC. For starters, we got the AFC East. Who do you think is going to come out?
Yeah, I just think that, Josh Allen really is coming into his game. I think he's really itching to finally make it that other leap. So I think that definitely the Bills are strong in the East. I don't think Miami or New England are on the same level. And now Aaron Rodgers is at the Jets. There'll be a lot of chemistry there, and it's going to be one of those guys that finishing his season, finishing his career. I don't think he's going to be able to bring it to the Jets.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got the AFC North.
So yeah, in the North, we got Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. They're the strongest in the division. I don't think the Ravens got great defense, but they can't win all their games on defense. So I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals, the way they're growing and the defense is getting better, we're going with the Bengals in the North.
And just to touch on it, Pittsburgh, they got Kenny Pickett, and they seem like they might be rising. Do you see anything, probably, obviously not this season, but future-wise? What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, Pickett showed some promise last year. I mean, we'll see what the next guy, if they give him another chance, he might be the next guy that really comes along. Who knows?
Yeah, and then next we got the South with the Jaguars.
Yeah, Jaguars, they're definitely up and coming. I think they showed that in the playoffs last year. Trevor Lawrence, he's a competitor. He wants to get better. He knows he needs to get better, and I think he's going to show it this year. So everybody else in that division, they're sort of rebuilding. I don't think anyone can keep up with the Jaguars.
Yeah, and of course, he still did great last season, but he needs to get even better. And of course, they need supporting cast.
Yeah.
What about the West?
Okay, the West, we got Mahomes. Mahomes is the best in the league. Everybody knows it. He's got his Super Bowl. So definitely the Chiefs are in the West. And the Chargers with Herbert, hey, he's going to be potential. He's going to be a runner-up. I think the Chargers will make the playoffs.
Yeah. And what about the last few teams in that division?
Well, the Raiders are going to be hurting. I mean, they need a quarterback. I think they need a new owner. Really, if they get a new owner, I think Davis needs to just pass it on to someone. They might be able to train the Broncos. They're still rebuilding. I don't think that Mr. Wilson's going to be doing it in the Broncos, and he's not happy there.
But you got to remember, before they had, I think Nathaniel Hackett, and he was more of just a coach that they got, because originally they wanted Rodgers, and they were trying to bring him over there. That didn't work out.
Right.
And he didn't work well with Russell Wilson. But they just got Sean Payton from the Saints. Great coach.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so who knows? He could end up resurrecting Seahawks Wilson, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that still it's the Chiefs.
Yeah. You can't really knock that out. All right, starting with the East, from the NFC.
Yeah, we got the Eagles, of course, with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the man. I think he's going to bring that team back again. I think their defense is getting strong. But, Cowboys, Dak, I don't know if Dak's really the franchise player that's going to bring them to the Super Bowl in the Cowboys. So, by East, I would give it to the Eagles.
Yeah, and just to touch on it, New York Giants, they got Daniel Jones. He was originally, this was his prove-it year. It seemed like he may have been on his way out. Then he proved it. He's shown he's there. Maybe got a little bit bigger of a contract than he deserved, but anyways, yeah. Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, I think it's the Eagles.
Yeah. Then the Commanders are the Commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, all right. What about the North?
So in the North, I think Detroit was a surprising team last year. They came on strong towards the end of the season, won quite a few of their games. I think Goff is going to keep on getting better, and the chemistry is gelling with the Goffs there. So I'm actually going to go with the Lions this year for the North.
What about those people you just upset with the Vikings? But
yeah, I mean the Vikings, with their quarterback, I think he's had a lot of years. They got Jefferson, and Jefferson's a dynamic player, but I don't think they have enough support members to bring the Vikings to the next level. And the Vikings defense, if you watch the Vikings defense, the Vikings gave up some points last year. So I think that's the only thing is they don't have the defense to support their offense.
Yeah. And then just touching on, they got Chicago with Justin Fields, Green Bay with Jordan Love. Anything on them?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think that Green Bay's going to be able. I mean, he's a young quarterback. He looks like strong, but I don't think they're going to have the chemistry they had with Rodgers.
What about their future? Anything?
I think you'll see a trade for quarterback in Green Bay in a couple of years.
Yeah, you don't think he has as much potential as Justin Fields?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next up we got NFC South.
All right, this one too, that's sort of like a league that's sort of growing, but I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. They got Derek Carr now. I like Derek Carr in his years. He's got good numbers.
Yeah.
If he can get some good protection and their defense, the Saints' defense is pretty bold. They can play strong. So I think with Derek Carr leading the new helm, and he wants to prove something, he wasn't happy about getting traded from the Raiders. So Derek's going to be out to really prove that he can bring in a team and turn a team around like the Saints.
What if something happens? He either, if he gets injured, that could affect a lot. But what if he doesn't do pretty good? They have Tampa, they have Atlanta, and Carolina. Do you think it's going to affect much if he doesn't go off as much as you think?
Yeah, I think you just mentioned those three teams. Buccaneers lost Brady, so they're going to rebuilding. I mean, the Panthers, I don't know why they gave away the running back Christian McCaffrey. I have no idea why they did that. That was such a mistake.
Funny part, though, their team somehow did better when they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Don't know how that happened.
Hey, to the Niners' favor. I mean, McCaffrey's been awesome over there.
Yeah.
And then, when you got with the Falcons, they've just sort of been lost the last few years, and their quarterback's getting old, and so you'll be seeing some new players playing for the Falcons this year.
And just to touch on for future-wise, anything about Bryce Young for him in Carolina?
You know what, Bryce Young, I like him. I don't know if he's got the NFL grit. You're gonna need some NFL grit, and I don't know if he's got that stature. You got to be a tough character to play.
Yeah, and he's a lot like Kyler Murray. He's shorter. He's not that big of a quarterback.
Right.
But
he's gonna take some hits. I think that's gonna wake him up. It's like, okay, now I'm in the NFL.
Yeah. And speaking of Kyler Murray, last up we got the NFC West. They got Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. Who are you taking?
Well, I think the Niners got the best team, especially their defense is stronger than any other defenses. Now, if they can settle out their quarterback position, Brock Purdy's promising. If he can stay healthy and he comes back, I think he can bring some momentum to that team. But they need to settle that quarterback, who their starter is going to be.
Yeah, and Trey Lance, based on everything we've heard, has gotten a lot better. He's been working with Patrick Mahomes, reworked his throwing form, and beforehand, whenever he'd go home, he said he'd have to ice it every time he got home. Now, he said he called his trainer, or his trainer called him, and said, "How's your arm feel?" after they reworked it. And he said, "This is the first time I have not felt pain in my arm after, and I didn't have to use an ice pack."
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and then we got Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, I think, that might be the surprise this year for Purdy goes down. I think they put in Sam Darnold. He's back in California. He played college football in California. I think he's happy to be on the Niners and maybe possibly getting his chance.
Yeah.
So Sam Darnold, that could be a surprise this year.
And Kyle Shanahan, he's proven you can throw probably one of the worst players out in the league, and he can make him look somewhat like an average quarterback. And Sam Darnold, what pick was he? He was higher up. Was he first?
He was a high pick, yeah.
No. Was he first?
I don't know if he was first, but he was a high pick, and he did all right at the two teams he played with.
Yeah.
Just didn't get the support, and he had a couple injuries, but I think he's now third or fourth year in the league, and he is much stronger. So.
Yeah, and under Shanahan.
Yeah.
He could blossom. But yeah, we'll see.
Going to be a fun year. I can't wait for the NFL this year. It's going to be exciting.
All right, that's all. These are our predictions for this year, AFC, NFC, NFL, and yeah, We'll see how this goes. We'll see if we're right, and we will probably check back in at the end of the year and see how these come.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. Leave a like, subscribe, and what's gonna happen if they don't subscribe?
This is my grandson, and I'm proud of him. So you need to subscribe.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, do it.
All right. See y'all next time.